Hey, good morning, everybody. It's great to see you. Appreciate you all plugging in to our second town hall. Now, the objective of the exercise with these town halls is to tell all of the interested people, soldiers, leaders, industry, various updates on the Army's Transition Assistance Program. The Army's TAP program, of course, is the biggest. In DoD, we make up a little over half of the Department of Defense, as you all know. So today, we're talking about one of our really important two medal tasks, mission essential task list. And that task is to connect soldiers. So we have two medal tasks: prepare the soldier for transition, and then connect that soldier during that transition. So the chart you got there in front of you is our simple cartoon that tells us how to connect soldiers with employers. And then it's the same diagram to connect employers with soldiers, because as you all know, the vast majority of soldiers expect to, want to, and need to find meaningful employment after their transition. And similarly, the majority of industry expects to, needs to, and wants to get human capital, quality employees, and they found the Army is a great place to do that. So we're going to go over about half of these 6 blocks this morning. We've got visitors that are going to talk to you from the bottom up about the Army's Partnership for Youth Success Program, a great program. Pay attention. There's a lot of good lessons to learn. We've got partners from the Army Reserve and Army National Guard that are going to tell you how we can maximize their capability scattered out in every small town in America, really, certainly across all the states. And then we've got a partner for our Recruit Military Partnership webpage, a great program, again, that allows every soldier to put in a location, a specialty, or a salary range, and really pick from our employment partners. Next town hall in about a month, we're going to talk in detail about the Career Skills Program and Skill Bridge Program, so we're excited about that. And then at a later date, we're going to get Department of Labor to talk to us about some of their capabilities, and they've got great capabilities, and then ultimately talk about hiring events at your local installation and virtually. We'll probably get some of that virtual today. So again, I appreciate everybody plugging in. Take notes. This is important stuff. If you have some questions, put it in the chat box. And with that, I'm going to hand off to my friend and fellow TAP program office trooper, Eric Cogdell. Eric, take it away.
Well, welcome everybody. What a great day it is to be in the TAP world. Today is going to be an awesome show for the town hall. We got 4 wonderful people that's going to talk to you about different aspects of connecting soldiers that are transitioning to the workforce. It's going to be great. We're going to start off with the PACE program, Mr. Antonio Johnson. Then we're going to go to the P3 program with Colonel Sandoval. Then I'll let Ms. Berger talk to you about what the National Guard can do for you. And then we'll bring up the rear with a Recruit Military with Mr. Chris Newsom. So for the next 5 to 7 minutes, I'm going to turn it over to these 4 individuals, and they're going to tell you what their program is going to do for you on connecting soldiers while you're in the transition mode for employment. So Mr. Johnson, the floor is yours, and talk about their partnership for your success.
All right. Thanks, Eric. And good morning, everyone out there. Again, my name is Antonio Johnson, and I manage the PACE program for the U.S. Army. My office is at TRADOC headquarters in Fort Eustis, Virginia. Now, before I get into PACE, I'm going to just share a little bit about myself, and I think it'll add some value in the end. So I joined the Army right out of high school in 1993, and for the next 22 years, I was on active duty. I decided to retire in 2015, so it's almost 10 years ago. But I will tell you, about 2 years before I got to that point, I was at a crossroads. Like, do I stay in? Do I decide to get out? And, for me, and like most transitioning soldiers, the biggest factor that plays into that decision is what type of employment opportunities am I going to have if I decide to get out? Because, once you spent 20 years in the Army, you're walking away from a lot of guarantees, from the pay, the benefits, not having to worry about getting laid off or fired. So all of those things played a role in my decision. And I was in recruiting command. So, I talk about the Army for a living. So in my mind, I just thought, well, if I could just get to an interview, I know I would crush it because, I talk, professionally for a living. And, it took me a while to get to the actual interview, and, I actually got hired by the PACE program as I transitioned out of the Army. This is the only job that I've had since I retired. But that interview is the main reason why I want to share that short story, because when we talk about PACE, or the Partnership for Your Success program, this is a strategic partnership between the U.S. Army and a cross-section of businesses, corporations, and public sector agencies designed to support employment opportunities for transitioning soldiers and veterans. Established in 2000, PACE is partnered with over 1,300 organizations nationwide, including over 90 Fortune 500 and over 150 city, county, and state governments. Since its inception 25 years ago, the PACE program has provided over 4 million job opportunities. And right now, currently in our database, there's 1.2 million jobs in the PACE database for soldiers. Some examples of some of the partnerships that we have: Ford Motor Company, United States Secret Service, Delta Airlines, and Wells Fargo, just to name a few. And last year alone, in 2024, our PACE partners hired over 50,000 veterans and transition soldiers, and continues to highlight the benefit of acquiring a highly talented and qualified veteran population. Now, how does this work? Soldiers can self-register for PACE simply by logging on to our website at www.armypace.com, or you can click the QR code that you see on your screen in the bottom right-hand corner. Now, registering for PACE takes about 5 minutes, and I encourage, any soldier to register now. But when you make that decision to transition out of the Army, that's normally 18 to 24 months before you're actually out. That's when we would like for you to come back into the PACE site and choose up to 5 companies, 5 of our 1,300 plus, for a guaranteed job interview. Those 5 companies that you select are going to give you a guaranteed interview, not a guaranteed job. Now, we made vast changes to the program, and this is one of them. And simply because now that you've decided to transition out of the Army, you have a much better idea of where you want to go and what you want to do. And so looking at over 1,300 companies and only being able to pick 5, it's probably going to take some time for you to, drill down on that and really decide. But just understand, a guaranteed job interview, just because you are a soldier in the United States Army, and these companies have partnered with the U.S. Army in this effort. So think about that as a benefit and how you get to kind of leapfrog the process and go straight to an interview with these veteran-friendly employers. Now, for the Army National Guard and the Army Reserves, those soldiers are eligible for the interview as soon as they complete advanced individual training. So, in theory, any Army Reservist or Army National Guardsman can register for PACE and set up their interviews right now, as long as they've graduated from AIT. I encourage you to follow us on our social media platforms. Everything's at armypace.com. And also, for veterans who've already exited the Army, we also have a new app called PACE Live. And PACE Live is similar to PACE. We're using the same companies that are partnered with us, but with PACE Live, they're looking to hire soldiers immediately for the jobs that they have posted. And while these positions aren't guaranteed interviews, but you will be able to select companies that want to hire veterans, and they're already partnered with the U.S. Army. So I know I only got 5 minutes, so I like to open it up for any questions. This is kind of brief, but Eric, I don't know if you see it.
No, thank you, Mr. Johnson. That was wonderful information, and personally, I learned something. I didn't realize that the Reserve and National Guard can also participate in PAYS once they complete AIT. That's another valuable resource myself I didn't know about, and now everybody else out there knows about. I'm gonna hold off. I've got a few questions, but I'm gonna wait to the end till everybody speaks. So, Ms. Johnson, if you don't have anything else, I am going to turn it over to the P3 program and Lieutenant Colonel Sandoval. If you want to take it, go ahead.
Thank you, Eric. Well, good morning. My name is Lieutenant Colonel Sandoval. I am a program manager with Private Public Partnership. We are a special staff element of Office of Chief of Army Reserve. However, our services, much of what we do apply to all veterans. So there's one specific program which I'll mention on that is only afforded to reservists. However, again, most of what we offer is afforded to all veterans. So our mission, if you could go up one slide, please, is to build a network of partners on the private and public side. Also, we have agreements with federal agencies and universities to provide soldiers, veterans, spouses, and dependents over the age of 18 employment and training opportunity. So when you think of P3, think of employment. Next slide, please. We have teams at 9 of the largest Army installations. So Schofield Barracks, Hawaii, Joint Base Lewis McChord, Fort Carson, Bliss, Cavazos, Campbell, Stewart, Drum. These teams brief transitioning soldiers weekly, and they're also there if you decide to join the reserves to help introduce you to your gaining, as well as educate you on opportunities that we have if you're just looking to transition to the civilian side. So we have over 360 national partners and then roughly 1,000 regional and local partners. With our national partners, we have written agreements. So if you apply to one of our national partners, we have an LNO at each of those companies that we hand walk your resume to. So it's just not floating out in the ether with no word back on your status of your application. We'll hand walk you through the process and make sure that it's progressing. So these are national partners, names that you would recognize: Ford, Honda, Marriott, John Deere, just to name a couple. Next slide, please. Then we have roughly 60 contractors spread throughout the country from Hawaii to Puerto Rico, but we take clients from all over the world. And these folks help whoever they're nearest. So let's say you transition from the military, you remember this briefing, and months after you ETS, you decide you want to maybe do a change or begin looking for employment. You can reach out to one of these folks. They're called Army Reserve Employment Specialists. Again, being the fact that you're a veteran, you can take part in our services for free. And one of these folks nearest you will do what I mentioned, hand walk your resume or application through the process. Next slide, please. So get into some of the details of what P3 offers. When I say we assist soldiers and family members, we can assist with job search, job placement, interview prep, resume writing, LinkedIn development. There was a question regarding underemployment, and our philosophy is the best time to search for a job is when you have one. So we can help you, shop your resume around or prepare it better to get greater opportunities. We also assist with certifications, anything from realty to project manager. Some of our partners offer those for free. The next bullet here that I'll talk about is unique to the Army Reserve. No other service has this. Only the U.S. Army Reserve has it, and that's P3 has its own Skill Bridge program. So this is the one benefit that is afforded to service members that are on active duty that decide to contract with the Army Reserve. So again, it's a Skill Bridge, just like I'm sure you're familiar with through the DoD Skill Bridge briefings that you take part in during TAP. No command approval is needed for our CSP, our Skill Bridge. So Essentially, the soldier selects a program, they contract with the Army Reserve, and there's no command approval needed. Many of our partners offer scholarships or grants, so it's a benefit. For example, John Deere will provide roughly $2,000 worth of tools for the transitioning service member in order to take part in that certification and then go on to be a mechanic with them. Other programs have similar offers. The third bullet here, national partners. We recently started an internship program with Microsoft and Amazon that we just launched the pilot for that went very well. So if you're in a cyber or IT field or looking to pursue one, you come to us. We will do an intro to you and Microsoft or Amazon. They have paid internships, very flexible. And they typically take place in the summer months. We have express hire for hundreds of mil-tech positions. So this is another P3 recent development we started last summer. If you're looking to join in a dual status, so drilling in the reserves, but also trying to get your foot into the door to the government system, we have an express route to hire military technicians, otherwise known as mil-techs. If you're in any sort of human resources background, mechanics, logistics, quartermaster, we have literally hundreds of jobs vacant that we can probably get you into in less than a month. With roughly a dozen federal agencies, we have direct hire agreements. Several of these right now, since they're linked to Homeland Security, are not under the hiring freeze. So if you're familiar with the USA jobs process, sometimes you apply, you don't hear anything back for several months. Not the case with this. So again, if you come to us, we have an LNO at these roughly dozen agencies, and they will walk your application to the front of the line, and it'll expedite the process. Next slide, please. So if you're looking for more information on anything I've mentioned, just Google U.S. Army Reserve P3 or private-public partnership. It'll take you to this site to show you all the partners that we have. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. If you're looking for a P3 representative nearest you, click on the map of the United States, click on the state. It'll direct you to the employment specialist or transition liaison nearest you. Their contact information is located right there. Picture of them so you can see what they look like. Next slide, please. But my contact information is right here in the center under Active Duty to Reserve Program Manager. Please, if you have questions on anything I have mentioned, you can email me, text me directly. If you want more specific information about our SkillBridge opportunities, I'd be happy to share share information with you and answer any questions you may have. So thank you, Eric. That concludes all I have for now.
Colonel Sandoval, I got one word: impressive. There's a few things that, like I said, I learn every day. The SkillBridge CSP program that the Reserve has came up with, they piloted, I heard a little bit about it a few months ago, and the improvements and the amount of soldiers and what they get out of that by joining the reserves, from transitioning from active duty and joining a reserve unit and utilizing the SkillBridge opportunities. What a fabulous opportunity that the reserve offers them. Then your mil-tech opportunities and just everything else that you described, impressive.
Thank you.
The opportunities out there is endless. The soldiers just need to reach out there and go to P3 website, look at the slides, and take a screenshot of the QR code, go to it, and check out P3. Moving right along, Miss Kelly Berger with the National Guard. The floor is yours. Tell us what the National Guard can offer soldiers as they're transitioning for as a job employment.
Absolutely. Hi, everyone. Good morning. Like it was said, my name is Kelly Berger, and I work with the National Guard Bureau's Reserve Component Transition Assistance Advisor Program. So it's a little mouthful. We call it TAA is often what it's referred to for short. So this program is in accordance with public law, and it works with every branch of service. However, our numbers show that historically the Army makes up about 85 to 90% of the population we serve. We have 108 transition assistance advisors, or TAAs, across all 54 states and territories. So each state or territory has at least one TAA, some have multiple. The number of TAAs is determined by service member population where they live, as well as unemployment rates versus the amount of resources available in the area. So our TAAs locations are designed to be in communities where reserve component service members reside and where there's little access to military installations or military resources. But our TAAs are also in these geographically dispersed areas to assist Compo 1 soldiers, active duty soldiers who return to areas where military resources are not readily available. So while employment support is one of the major services TA provides, we do provide 9 other services. And I'll talk a little bit later about why that could be important and is helpful to the overall picture of serving our service members, specifically with employment. But so of that employment assistance, we help service members as well as dependents of the member with assistance with finding employment opportunities and employment related support. So our TAAs are charged with building relationships with agencies and companies in the local area and throughout the state who provide job placement and other employment counseling services such as resume building or other opportunities like that, networking within the employment support area. So they connect the service member with the appropriate resources or specific subject matter expert to assist them depending on the customer's needs. And they also make sure that they continue to work with that service member after they have gotten them to the correct resources throughout the process until they've made sure that the service member or the family member's needs are adequately met. And like I said, while employment is a major focus of the TAAs, we do have the ability to serve them in 9 other areas. And where I think you'll find that this is important, and those areas should be listed on the flyer or in the QR code, but we think this is a very important distinction because as we know, individual service members very rarely have one single issue or one single concern. So when a service member or veteran requests help, we can assist in the other areas, or on the other side of that, if they come in with a specific area, we can ask if they are have any issues with their employment. Are they currently out of employment, or are they looking for employment opportunities beyond what they currently have? So I think that makes us a very versatile and important resource in these geographically dispersed locations. So for contact information for TAAs by state, it is available through our Military One source, and I believe that it's also on the QR code provided as well. So that's just a kind of a update of our program and who we are and what we serve. And I would love to hear if there are any questions or any way I could provide additional information.
Kelly, one word, outstanding. A lot of things people don't realize. The soldiers that join the National Guard, whether they transfer from active duty to the National Guard or just join straight up to the National Guard, the National Guard makes up the majority of the reserve component. National Guard is in every single state and territory, and so it is a very large population. I think for the reserve and National Guard. The National Guard, I think, is probably 65 to 75% of the soldiers for the total reserve component for Compo 2 and 3. So I know the National Guard has a large task on their hand on finding soldiers employment and everything else. Some of the, other than just the job employment, the other things that you said your program offers, there was 9 other things. That's phenomenal that you expand out to more than just one thing helping these soldiers, because transitioning soldiers, whether they're coming on active duty or leaving active duty or just joining straight up the National Guard, there's more than one thing that soldiers need, and you're taking care of that. So I commend the National Guard for helping them with all of that. So going to the last one, recruit military, Mr. Chris Newsom. Tell us all about what Recruit Military can do for you, for the transitioning soldier.
Absolutely. Eric, thank you so much for having me today. And quite the lineup to have to bring up the rear on, but I'm going to do my best. So good morning, everybody. As Eric introduced, my name is Chris Newsom. I'm with Recruit Military. I'm an Army veteran myself. I transitioned a handful of years ago from Fort Bragg as a infantry paratrooper, and I use that that reference because when I transitioned, there were some initial struggles trying to figure out exactly where my skill sets and my experience fit into the civilian world. So I want to make sure everybody that's watching this understands you are not pigeonholed. You have a wealth of options that are in front of you. There's no shortage of companies that are eager to engage with you and that wish to hire you. So I'll give you kind of the 30,000 foot overview. So, appreciating that transitioning from military to civilian life is a significant milestone. Having access to the right support can make all the difference in the world. It's literally the difference between success and failure sometimes. So today, I'm going to give you a quick introduction to the Tactical Connection Program, specifically the elements that are powered by Recruit Military. This program is designed specifically to assist Army soldiers, veterans, and their families in navigating this transition successfully. So biggest question, what is the Tactical Connection Program? Really, it's in the naming convention. This was established in partnership with the U.S. Army Human Resources Command and Installation Management Command with a focus on TAP. The Tactical Connection Program offers comprehensive employment transition services. So this is intended to augment all of the great information that you're being provided at the point of TAP to ensure that you have that tactical support mechanism to give you access to meaningful career opportunities. And that's really what our mission is here. Our mission is to connect you with meaningful civilian career opportunities that align with your skills and, more importantly, your aspirations. It's not just about what you did, but it's about what do you want to do moving forward. A few of the key features within the program, we bring a personalized career support approach. So we're going to provide tailored resources, including resume assistance, interview preparation, and career guidance to make sure that you can effectively translate your military experience into the civilian job market. We bring exclusive job opportunities. So by virtue of participating in this program, you're going to gain access to the world's largest veteran-only job board, featuring positions from employers that are committed and dedicated to hiring and retaining military talent. They're lined up around the block. They're eager to talk to you. It's a matter of making sure that you're easy to find, essentially. We bring a lot of hiring events. We do over 100 every year. So we give you the opportunity to participate in both virtual and in-person career fairs nationwide. And this facilitates direct engagement with these potential employers. Some of you that are active duty on base now may be familiar with our events. We're not at every installation, but again, between the installation events, the city events, and our virtual events, we have coverage on a national and even global level. So I encourage you to explore any hiring events that we have coming up in the near future. We're also bringing a diverse employer network. Our partnerships span across all industries, offering a wide range of career paths to explore. So again, regardless of what you did, what your MOS was, what your rank was, there is representation in this ecosystem for you. So again, don't feel like you're pigeonholed. You have a lot of opportunities and options to explore. When you're looking at the landscape and all of the resources that are available to you, and you ask yourself, why am I going to lean on this program? Well, one, this is and always will be 100% cost-free. There is no expiration of services. You can lean on us now for any support that you need, whether that be with resume writing or direct access to employers and opportunities. And then down the road, maybe in a couple years, if you go to make a career pivot, we'll be waiting for you. We're here to support you. But we've also brought with us proven success. We've been in this space for many decades, but just in the last handful of years since we've been working directly with the United States Army, this dates back to 2020, so about 5 years almost to the day, we facilitated tens of thousands of successful outcomes for soldiers and their families. So this program, it truly does work, but you need to participate. You need to be able to be found. You need to be, interactive, if you will. These companies really do want to meet you, so we're here to make it easy for you to meet in the middle. We have a veteran-led team. The majority of our staff here at Recruit Military are military veterans or military spouses. We come directly from the community. So, we've walked in your boots before, and we understand your journey because we've gone through it ourselves. And to be Army specific, about 35% of our workforce hails directly from Army service. So again, we truly understand what this next chapter in your life looks like, and we're here to be that force multiplier for you. We're also bringing comprehensive resources. So this is not just a one-use widget, if you will. Beyond job placement, we offer tools for professional development, connectivity to mentorship, and other wraparound services and partners, ensuring that you're equipped for long-term success. It's not about right now. We want to make sure that you are good to go now and forever, essentially. Getting started, it's very, very easy. Some of you may have already heard about this program as you're going through TAP, or some of you will in the very near future. It's as easy as going to recruitmilitary.com and starting your professional profile. It takes a handful of minutes, and depending on how long your career is, maybe 10 to 15 minutes tops, but you can get started right away and you can start sourcing for opportunities and events. And once you create that professional profile and get your resume uploaded, it'll basically open the gates for you to connect and engage directly with these organizations near and far. So whether you're staying where you are right now or you're going to be relocating, you can start sourcing for those opportunities on truly a global scale. We want to make sure that once you've got that profile up and running, that you are exploring the extent of the resources that we have. Utilize our career advice content, our resume guidance, our resume generation tools, the professional development workshops that we have to ensure that you have everything that you need for that next engagement, whether that's you're going to interview with an organization or you want to start just exploring conversational interviews, going to a hiring event, learning your 30-second elevator pitch, tactical things like that. And we really do want to encourage you to attend these hiring events, register for upcoming career fairs and networking events so that you can start meeting and networking with employers that are actively seeking military talent. They're seeking you. Once your profile is created, you're also going to be visible for consideration for our placement services. Internally, we have a small army of recruiters that are supporting many of our employer partners with direct placement services. So we will carry you through the life cycle of that hiring process in some cases. And one of the last things I want to leave you with is please know that we're going to touch base with you. We're going to nurture you through this experience. We're going to stay with you to ensure that you're tracking event dates, that we can put employment opportunities in front of you that match. And we're also going to touch base with you to make sure that you're onboarded in the first place. You might get a phone call, you might get a text message from us, and we'd love to talk with you. We'd love to work with you to make sure that you've got initial momentum and you have everything that you need to get started. So, closing remarks here, just remember, transitioning is a journey and you don't have to navigate this alone. It's good to have a battle buddy. We all had battle buddies at certain points in time while we were in uniform. That doesn't change. Don't be a lone ranger, if you will. Make sure that you're leaning on your support mechanisms because they're out there, whether Recruit Military or any of the other partners that are mentioned today or outside of this conversation. Use the resources to ensure that you have success. The Tactical Connection program is here to support you every step of the way, ensuring that you find a fulfilling career, not just a job, but a career, something meaningful, something that motivates you when your feet hit the ground every morning, and something that values your unique skills and experiences that you bring with you from your military service. So with that, I thank everybody for your time. To those in the audience that are still in uniform, appreciate your dedicated service and continued service to the nation. We're honored to assist you in this next chapter of your professional journey. And with that, Mr. Cogdell, I'll yield the time back to you. Thank you.
Chris, remarkable. So I have to self-admit, I'm a little biased. In 2015, when I retired, I actually attended a Recruit Military hiring event in Louisville, Kentucky, up at the University of Louisville football field. They had an event inside the executive suites at the U of L football team. And that was my first real eye-opening experience of what am I going to do when I retire? Because I really didn't know. And this was my first big experience in the job market, looking for a job as a transitioning soldier, was with the assistance of Recruit Military. And it was eye-opening of, wow, is my resume right? How do I navigate this? And just having one of these tactical connection opportunities, these tools, was helpful in having a successful transition. Because I tell you firsthand, when I first decided, hey, it's time for me to retire, I did not have a plan. But with the resources that the Transition Assistance Program can offer you, especially if you're looking for a job for employment, hey, there's multiple. You don't have to just pick one and stick to it. There's multiple things out there. But I do have one question for you, Chris, and you may have said it in there, but I don't remember if I heard it. Actually, it's two questions in one. Currently on Recruit Military's website, how many job openings do you have with how many companies?
Yeah, great question, Eric. I think the magic number is roughly 250,000 as of today, and that number fluctuates. There's a seasonality to it, but you'll typically find at any given time between 250,000 and about 400,000 open opportunities that are all coming from organizations with dedicated military hiring initiatives. The number of companies that we're working with, the number falls somewhere between 16 and 17,000. Again, there's a little bit of seasonality and economic variables involved in that, but it's a target-rich environment is the bottom line up front takeaway from that. So like I said in the presentation, there is something for everybody, regardless of what you're looking to do moving forward.
Thank you, Chris. That's one of, like, I know I've been on the website many times. I go in there, like you said, there's something for everybody, regardless of your MOS. If you want to work in your own MOS, there's probably something there. If you want to work outside of your MOS and do something completely different, there's something for everybody. You just got to get on there and sell yourself, and Recruit Military will help you with that. Not only Recruit Military, pays, the P3 program, and the National Guard. All their programs have resources to help you navigate the employment. So I have one final question for everybody here, for the whole team. We've been talking about job placement for transitioning soldiers, but on a different aspect, we tend to forget about one certain thing. Just because a soldier or a veteran, I won't say soldier, a veteran has a job, it may not be the right job, or they may be underemployed. So what tools or advice, maybe not tools, just advice, does your program have that can assist soldiers that may be underemployed to help them out? And I'll open the floor. I'm not going to call any one person out. Just tell me what your advice or tools that you can give transitioning soldiers or veterans. Go ahead, Antonio.
Okay, thanks, Eric. So what we highly recommend with the PACE program is to, number one, go register now, whether you're, in transition or about to transition, or, just join the Army. We want you to register now. But the other part is go in there and select those companies 12, 15 months prior to your transition date, because that gives you an opportunity to reach out to the POCs at these companies and have those conversations. And they're standing by ready to assist. They may say, send me your resume, and they may recommend, some type of certification or something that you may need to be more competitive. So, our PACE POCs are standing by to assist. But the only way you can establish that relationship is to register and select those partners early. So if you make that call and say, hey, I selected you as one of my PACE partners, but I don't get out for another 9 months, what should I be doing right now? They're standing by to assist.
Thank you, Antonio. Anybody else have any advice or mentorship that they want to throw out there for the veterans that currently have a job but are looking for something a little different or a little better?
Eric, I'll jump in there real quick. Kind of like I alluded to when I was speaking earlier, have confidence knowing that corporate America and truly any employers that are out there, regardless of what sector you want to go into, are eager to meet you. We have gone so far beyond philanthropy and patriotism. Well, that's naturally inherent within, the dialogue of talking about our community. Companies now have, the better part of a decade and a half or more of truly taking a business lens to their military hiring initiatives. And they're now at a point where the data speaks for itself. Our community, our demographic tends to outperform. We're not saying that civilians aren't amazing employees and coworkers, but from a statistical standpoint, military community members are going to outperform. They're going to be retained a little bit better because we're going to take a more matured approach to our career goals, and we're going to find something and stick with something that's meaningful to us. So just know that, again, target-rich environment. You don't have to twist the arm of an employer to want to hire you. It's a matter of making sure that, to Eric's point, you're selling yourself. You can articulate your value and how you can translate your military experience to that particular role, to that particular industry. And again, where does Recruit Military directly support within that dynamic? It's personalized career matching. We're looking at your profile, we're looking at your resume, and we're going to recommend opportunities based on you. We're going to meet you where you are right now. So being able to take that methodic approach and do that meaningful matchmaking, both for the soldiers that are watching this that are going to be looking for the career, as well as the employers, helping them be very pinpoint accurate with the sort of talent that they source for.
Anyone else have anything, closing remarks? It don't even have to be about that question. If anybody else has a closing remarks, go ahead.
Sure. Thank you. I can think of probably a dozen of our partners just off the top of my head that will offer free certifications to not only the soldier but the spouse. So we take kind of a holistic approach in stabilizing everybody through this process. And I think soldiers would be surprised to know how many free resources are out there. And really it would just take, a brief conversation with one of our P3 representative staff members to kind of illuminate options. And I'm all about options and letting the soldier decide. So it's easy for us, they tell us where or what they're interested in doing, to put their information in front of multiple people at the same time to kind of give them the best solution for them. We run the gamut of industries, from cyber to medical to, it's kind of sky's the limits. There's a lot of resources out there. So if anyone's interested, please just reach out to us, and we would love to kind of educate you on the options. Kind of a second point to that. So for us, we obviously focus a lot on the transitioning service member, but we also see a lot of folks that, a couple months after they've ETS'd, we're engaging with, and for some, life isn't always greener on the other side. They elected to go into the IRR. We have conversations with those folks annually, and we get to hear their stories and present options to them as well. Being that they're veterans, we offer the same services. And so we see folks that, benefit from what I've mentioned so far. So we get to see, what life looks like, multiple years sometimes after the soldier transitions out of the military.
Thank you, sir. Not to put you on the spot, do you have anything for closing, Kelly?
Sure, absolutely. I would just encourage, it's never like everyone has said here, there are amazing resources out there and eager employers who want to meet service members. So it's never too early to start or to re-engage, whether that's in an opportunity outside of where you currently are, or to grow and evolve in the position that you're in the field that you're in. So, speaking specifically for the RCTA program, we are in areas where you can reach out and touch us when you're not near a military installation or you're not near military resources. So no matter where you are across the 54 states and territories, we have resources to help and assist not only the service member, like everyone else said, but the family members. And that is through networking, through sitting down with an expert in your field and figuring out, what makes the best sense for your specific career path and what that looks like for you. And even if you're happy where you are, but you want to create, what is my 10-year plan look like? That's something that we can assist with as well. Never too early to start and to network and to engage with professionals, who are like-minded and can assist you and help you evolve in your career.
Yes. Thank you. And I just want to let everybody that's watching, the whole audience, everybody that's logged on watching, remember, each tactical connection partner has its own little niche. So whether it's P3 or it's the National Guard or it's Recruit Military or PAYS, they all have something a little different that they can offer you. So don't just look at one. You may not even know you don't know what you don't know till you go look at everything. So explore all of your options. So I'm going to go ahead and close this out. I want to just a reminder, next month is a very hot topic. I know it's on a lot of people's brains, CSP/Skill Bridge. Dr. Knishev, she'll be discussing the CSP Skill Bridge and all of the new and exciting things that will be coming up. So as you can see here on the screen, the CSP Skill Bridge is going to be on April the 24th, I believe. So tune in in April for that. We thank you for the 4 of you that have joined us. To the bottom of my heart, thank you for what you do for all of the transition soldiers and veterans. And I look forward to working with you even more to hone in to make sure every single transitioning soldier and veteran gets what they want. As we say, there is no soldier left behind. So a big thank you from all of Transition Division. Thank you for what you've done. And we will see you next month when we talk about the career skills program.
Thank you, Eric.
Thank you.
Thanks, Eric.